Hi, welcome back to chapter 5, and I'm glad you're still with me and watching these videos. Today we're going to talk about culture, which is very important for international marketers to take into account. It's a very exciting chapter, and it's part of the pastel framework that we talked about a few days ago. So it's a really interesting chapter, I believe, because it adds another layer, another dimension to our discussion of digging for information and figure out if a country is a viable place for us to enter with our business. So culture is really important. And so as far as the definition of culture, I'm sure you have many ideas of what it means. But really, what it entails is the passing of traditions, of beliefs, values, and attitudes from generation to generation in societies. And so, everything that we've been taught from, when we were young, and everything that we learn within a society is part of the culture, right? And so, cultures don't live enclosed in just one country. They're shaped and changed, and they're flexible when people come in and out of these cultures, so they tend to change. Of course, you have some things that do stay the same for a long period of time, and there are a lot of other things that do change. And so we have those values. Again, we have attitudes and behaviors that are different from country to country, and even within the countries there are different types of subcultures and different groups of people who have different cultures. And so the more you know about them, the more you know those differences, those belief systems, those traditions, the more you understand even the language, right, and how people behave and what they hold dear, the better you'll be at creating strategies that work for your particular company or particular product. Again, if you're a marketer, the more you know, the more you see those differences, the more you can add this particular dimension and add it to your strategy, right? And add it just as demographics. You look at demographics, you can also look at culture graphics. Okay. So just a few definitions. What are values? And values are difficult to change. These are things that people hold dear, and they can range from being a good person, being respectful, having values of family, togetherness, commitment, caring. These are things that are very difficult to change for a marketer. Even religion or God, those values that come from those teachings are more difficult to change for marketers. Now, attitudes and beliefs are a little bit easier to change. Attitudes are our beliefs and feelings and intentions of doing something, and they can range from being very positive to negative, and there's a spectrum of different attitudes and beliefs, of course. But attitudes are easier for marketers to change, right? If you have a good attitude towards coffee, and you feel good when you drink coffee, and you have the intention to drink coffee, then you have overall a positive attitude towards coffee. And if you have a negative attitude about it for some reason, then it's gonna, the marketer has to change that attitude somehow, right? And so beliefs, on the other hand, are more ingrained thoughts that we have and we have been trained to access. It's a framework, our belief system. And again, those frameworks have been passed on by our family members, our friends, our societies. And they can be based on what we've been taught and our experiences as well. So if you had a bad experience with coffee, maybe it makes you nervous, or maybe it doesn't taste good, you had somebody told you about something bad about it, or there's research that says that coffee is bad for you, that maybe you're going to believe that, and you're going to have a negative attitude towards coffee. But anyway, that's the short version of what these things are, and we're gonna go more into depth during class about what what this entails. And so again, attitudes and behaviors can be changed a lot easier, and values take a little bit longer and a lot more learning and training from marketers. So